Hey guys, so today we're doing our vlog number 11, and today we'll be discussing a web series that we were assigned to watch. Now, I took a look at some of the web series that were on the playlist, but there was one in particular that I really liked, so I decided to focus on that one. And it's a relatively short one compared to all the other ones, and I'll get into that later, but it's called My EPL, and it is by this woman by the name of Layla and Ali. It's a short series, currently only 19 episodes, and it continues growing. And yeah, it's on YouTube, and we'll dive into it a little bit about who she is, what her shows are about, and how they compare to TV series. So without further ado, let's get into it. So who is Layla Ann Ali? Layla Ann Ali is a TV presenter, and her one of the biggest things that she's done was that she was the voice of the opening ceremony for the 2012 London Olympics. Now, however, how most people know her and how I got to know her was from soccer or football shows that she's done in Europe because she is from London. So a little bit about her: she is from London. She speaks English, but she also speaks Portuguese, Spanish, and French. How I came to know her, I said, was her role in the soccer or footballing world, and that was through some of the programs that she's been a host of and has led interviews on. Have been Adidas Gameplay, as they call it, or which is a show that focuses on the Champions League, which is one of the most prestigious soccer leagues in Europe. And she has interviewed famous players, coaches, and teams such as Lionel Messi, Pep Guardiola, and Real Madrid. And so what she's done is she's been on that show, Adidas Gameplay. She's been the host of Kick TV, the Brazil edition, which was before the 2014 World Cup, as she does speak Portuguese, so that really helped her land that role. On Kick TV is a huge soccer program in Europe as well. And she's also been involved with Eurosport, BBC, and has now hosted some short segments on ESPN. Now, our professor did propose a few questions regarding our web series, and I'd like to combine two of them to start. So these two are: one, how does this web series deploy the YouTube form, and how does YouTube seriality differ from TV seriality? Now, what I want to say is that Layla and Ali's show is a bit different from TV series. And perhaps the biggest difference is that each episode is very short. I know that TV series, if we were to just look at something on Netflix, it'd be at minimum, maybe like we'll say half an hour to an hour. Her episodes, currently there are 19. They are in between 2 minutes and 4.5 minutes long. Those are so far. Two was the episode one, and 4.5 was one of the episodes in the middle. And they're uploaded almost every 1.5 weeks. Now, how does this differ from the TV shows? They differ in the sense that I feel like most TV shows have some sort of original content. Her show online, My EPL, isn't original in the sense of its content, because what she does is that she basically takes all the news or the big news that happens in the footballing world particularly across Europe, um, and then she puts her own twist on them, her satirical twist. And if I were to compare her to any other TV show, I would compare it to John Oliver, and they're also similar in the sense that John Oliver has garnered a lot of success on YouTube as well. So I feel like that's how she's different in originality and also in length. And also, I mean, maybe something it would be just how many episodes she has. I mean, she has to go, if it's My EPL, the Premier League season is lasts the entire school year. That's the best way to follow it. So she in one season she might have more than I don't know 25, 30 episodes, which is more than I feel like some TV series have. The next question would be, how does it deploy YouTube cultural norms of the sort we've been discussing, like intimacy, authenticity, mess, accessible celebrity, access to authorship, audience community? So I think this series is authentic because, and I don't think it can be fake because Layla and Ali has to discuss topics that truly happen. She has to pay attention to what has happened in the Premier League, and because that is the main focus of her show, and from there, she puts her own twist on it. So I mean, her twist I don't think can be fake either. It's how she feels. And then the other thing would be, I feel like accessible celebrity is huge in this one because all of her episodes, excuse me, take place. She'll be at a desk, and the camera's really close to her face, so the audience member really feels some sort of connection, and it make it seem like you're at a coffee shop talking to a woman and discussing the Premier League, which I guess for most men would be a dream. And and yeah, so I think that makes her really accessible in the sense that you feel like you have some sort of conversation with her, and also She currently does not have a huge following. I feel like the only reason why I know her was through the Adidas gameplay episodes where I first saw one of her interviews with Messi. I was like, oh, who's that? And then I followed her ever since because she's done other episodes of shows that I've really enjoyed. So she has even time to respond to some comments. I know that on some episodes, some of her viewers will say like, oh, we really enjoyed this, and she'll be thank you very much. So she is really focused and she doesn't have that big of a support. She doesn't have hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers, so she actually has time to talk with her audience. So I think that makes her incredibly accessible and it garners some sort of YouTube community. In closing, I like to say that I think this is a great show. I feel like any soccer fan would really enjoy watching what Layla Ali has to say because I think it puts a really funny twist on what goes on in the Premier League. And yeah, I think it's incredibly enjoyable, and I really enjoy waiting for the next episode. They come out, like I said, every 1.5 weeks, and how funny or how good the episodes are also depend on what really happens in real life, giving it that sense of authenticity. So I would really recommend people go out, check her out. Layla and Ali is just her name, and that's the title of her YouTube channel. And she's done other things as well besides my EPL. She followed the European Championship, which took place in France this summer, and it was called My Euros. So that show is now over. So that could, I guess, could be her first season of her series. And now she's on to producing new content almost every 1.5 weeks. So go check her out and maybe drop a subscription as well. Thanks.